It's time, my friends, for another Debo tip on wallpaper people. This is a new series. One of the many things I love about Jesus, and there is a lot to love, is that it's the overlooked people who capture his attention. They're like wallpaper. Some people just blend into the background unnoticed, and I'm not sure why. Jesus not only sees wallpaper people, he treats them as if they are hidden treasures. Wallpaper trends have been in and out of fashion since it first appeared on the insides of cupboards about 500 years ago. Today, it's not only on our walls, wallpaper is on our laptops and our phones. But wallpaper people, what's up with that? Wallpaper people are usually ignored. They're unseen. They're almost invisible. And full disclosure here, I've experienced plenty of my own wallpaper moments, and it's not pretty. It literally stings your heart when you're ignored. And it messes with your head because first you wonder to yourself, what's wrong with me? And then you go into attack mode. What's wrong with them? You hang around like wallpaper until you can't stand it any longer. And then you bolt. Jesus sees wallpaper people. While noisy crowds throng him on his way to die for the sins of the whole world, Jesus suddenly stops to call a blind wallpaper person to come to him. He models and commissions his followers to do the same. So when Paul introduces a wallpaper person named Phoebe to the church in Rome, in Romans chapter 16, he says, I commend to you our sister Phoebe, a servant of the church at Cenchrea, that you may welcome her in the Lord in a way worthy of the saints, and help her in whatever she may need from you, for she has been a patron of many, and of myself as well. Now notice that Paul does not recognize Phoebe according to her marital status. He didn't care. Rather, he describes her as our sister, a servant, and a patron of many and of myself as well. The Greek word servant, diakronos, is all over the New Testament. From these references, it's clear that servants help address the needs of others. But note, too, that two servants ministered beyond serving tables. Stephen was a gifted teacher, preacher, apologist. And Philip, another servant, was quite an evangelist in Acts chapter 6 through 8. So what about Phoebe? She was a servant. Was Paul asking the Romans to help her in whatever way she may need from you in serving tables? Or as a gifted teacher, preacher, or perhaps even an apologist, or an evangelist, like Stephen and Philip? Much like Paul's recommendation of Timothy to the church at Corinth, Paul wanted the church in Rome to receive Phoebe as a servant leader. Paul uses the same verb when he asked the church in Philippi to receive Epaphroditus. Philippians 2. Phoebe's role in the church was no less important or less official than that of Timothy or Epaphroditus or of any of Paul's other co-workers. Unfortunately, women have been excluded from church leadership positions, but such a practice truly deviates from the very early church, where men and women ministered side by side in similar positions and in record numbers. Out of the 29 wallpaper people listed in Romans 16, almost half are women, but they're all hidden treasures. Tune in next week for another edition of Wallpaper People.